All right, y'all. So we did building thinking classrooms. We are finishing up the week with main idea, and I'm going to show you in their journal what they did. And so after they went to the boards, I had a task for them for main idea from what we were reading, which is Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie in my regular class. And then after they went to the board, we talked about main idea. We did the who, the what, all the things. I had them grab their journals, and I'm going to show you so you can see a little more up close. I had them grab their journals and they wrote notes to their forgetful selves, and that's part of building thinking classroom. We're consolidating our learning, and I want them to remember how do they get to the place of what we had at the boards. So let me get a little closer so I can talk you through what the kids wrote, and I'm going to show you two different examples of what the students put in their journals. All right, here we go. All right, so here is two different examples so that we talked about, because these are the two things that we did talk about. And so this kid wrote, to find out the main idea, I find the who and the what. So that's helpful for them, for this student. And so I had them go back and I asked them, all right, so I need you to write notes to your forgetful selves. How did you and your group figure out what the main idea was? And then the question also talked about character motivations, and it talked about internal conversations. And so then I had them do another thing. Okay, so how did your group solve the problem of the character motivations and figure that out to be able to write about the character motivations? So this is what this student said. To understand character motivations, we look at goals and actions and internal conversations. So those, a couple of things that were right. And so they looked at the internal conversations, the actions, and we talked about this afterwards when we talked about what they put in theirs. And I wanted them to put dialogue, and then he didn't add that. This kid didn't add that. All right, so that's one example of what they wrote, because this is really notes for themselves. So we talk about them once they get them down. All right, and this is another journal. How do I determine main idea? And so she tells how she does main idea. And then we had the internal conversations, and she put actions and dialogue. And that's how she determined character motivation. And this is how she determined to find the main idea. So I hope that's helpful. And these are in the notes to your forgetful selves that they put in their journals after today's lesson. So it's important to be able to do this. So make time for this. This is an important part of the lesson.